Hello, welcome to Hatha Yoga. Grab a blanket if you have one, and maybe a block. That's just going to be optional if you like to have the ground coming closer to you at times. And we'll start in our cross-legged position, maybe on the blanket if you'd like. Settle yourself in, maybe switch cross of legs. Today. Thinking hands to the thighs, will turn palms up. Touch the pointer and the thumb together. It's just simple Dhyana Mudra. Connecting with the self. Closing down eyes. And opening your awareness inward. Letting the breath deepen. As you move into more subtle sensations and awareness in your body, notice areas of unconscious holding. It's always good to just start with those ones most of us have, the place between the eyebrows and at the jaw. Then follow that down through your throat and your shoulders. Allow your shoulders to relax, but keep the support of your bones, right? So we don't want to come off our bones. Even though it seems like we're working less, you're actually making your body work harder. So exploring that support of the bones, but you got to stack them up for them to give you some ease. Take the palms together now, pressing them at the center of the chest, broadening the collars, finding a simple intention for your practice today. Place your intention into your heart and bow your chin to your chest. Honor your intention, honor your practice. Namaste. Lift the head. Open your eyes gently. Hands to knees, we'll do just a few rounds of seated cat-cow. Tucking the tail under, rounding the back. And reverse that. Broaden, arch the back. Just a little bit of conscious movement to wake up the spine and give the discs, all your joints, nutrition. Do one more round. And come up to the center and walk yourself forward. Keeping the hips back. And so just go slow. Keep the navel broadening back. So not a hard engagement like plank pose or something like this, but just enough so your material doesn't limit your stretch forward, yeah? And also help support the low back. The next inhale, come up halfway and walk yourself over to your left thigh. And then maybe coming down to the elbows or just see what's there, what's available. You're trying to stay balanced through the backs of the legs. Keep the breath deep. And inhale, come up halfway again. Now continue over to your left. So now we got a twist with a side bend. I'm putting my right forearm against my left knee. That's helping to rotate. I'm just going slow, don't crank. Watch the neck and jaw. One more breath here. We're going to come into a side bend. So plant that left hand down so that the elbow is bending and the shoulder's soft. And then swing your left ribs forward and your right ribs up to the sky. Find a side bend. You should feel pretty good. Breathe into your right lung. Inhale, come up. Take your arms just down to your sides. Turn the palms forward and notice the difference. And then switch the cross of your legs. Again, staying rooted through the legs and the sitting bones. Walk yourself forward. Focusing on your even breath. Inhale, come up halfway, walk over to your right knee. Finding whatever depth of pose is appropriate. Inhale. Again, it's about halfway up, giving yourself space. All the way over to the right we go. Keeping that left side heavy. Root your left forearm into your right knee, and as you find more space, you can pull that left shoulder back to bring the left ribs through. And then that right hand's out. I mean, I got at least a foot out from my right hip. And the elbow's soft. Now we swing open to the side bend. Right ribs come forward. Left ribs open. And navel's broadening back. And next inhale coming up. And then just pause with the arms out to the side, bones stacked. Breathe into your space. Good, opening the eyes. I feel like we do this a lot in this Hatha class, but I really like it. It's like a nice little warm up. So starting in our pre-reverse tabletop position. And so hands are behind me, feet in front about hip distance. First is rolling the shoulder heads open, drawing the shoulder blades together. Elbows are bent a little bit and try and touch them together, right? But not so much it gets up into your neck and the top of your shoulders. So manage that and then draw your navel back towards your spine. So we're gonna lift the hips 10 times, inhaling to lift hips, exhaling to lower down. But remember, we're not gonna let this hanging from the shoulders, right? Make sure your back body is engaged so you get extension, right, to lift the hips up. So here we go. Breathe in and out. And inhale, lift. Exhale. And follow your own breath. That's 5 for me. Number 9. And then on number 10, let's just stay for a few breaths. Hug those elbows in towards the midline. Broaden your collarbones out. Maybe your head drops back. Reach your knees away. Press your feet down. Exhale. Come on down. Nice. Cross the shins. Come forward. Coming right into a forward fold. Tuck toes under. Feet are hip distance. Nice knee bend. Get your torso down on your thighs, but broaden the navel back. Right? It's like it moves out to the side bodies to help lengthen the waist. Maybe taking opposite elbows, maybe holding on to ankles, maybe hands on a block or the ground. Right, and then let's just bend one knee at a time. Going back and forth, feeling that translation, moving back and forth through the SI joint. Get a little bit more out of the IT band. It might even crawl up towards the side body to the armpits. Make sure your head's heavy. One more each side. Good, let the knees bend. Inhale, come up halfway. Take the palms to the hip creases. Hug those elbows in again. Get your low ribs in. Press your legs back and your chest forward. Lengthen your spine. Get your head in line with your spine. Don't let it hang down. And I can find a little traction even here in my low back because I'm pushing back so much. Reaching forward. One more breath. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise. Reach arms out to the side. Up to the sky. Hands to heart. Down to your sides. Bring your feet together and close your eyes. Hug the shins in towards the midline. Take thigh bones back. Maintain that as you move your pubic bone forward and your low ribs back. Just notice that constant recalibration. Keep your eyes closed. Inhale, sweep the arms out to the sides. Exhale, cactus. Draw the shoulder blades down the back. Keep the legs straight. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, swinging the arms down. So we'll do that 4 more times following your own breath. Inhale, arms float up. Exhale, cactus. Lift the chest, maybe starting a little more of a back bend. Inhale, arms up. Exhale. So really letting the breath precede the movement, right? That inhale fills your arms up to float. The exhale, you pull the navel back towards the spine as you draw your shoulder blades down your back. Inhale, arms up. Get longer by pushing your feet down. Exhale. 2 more. Good. Opening your eyes. Take the feet hip distance again. And release your hands behind your back. Let's just start here, squeezing the elbows together again, right? It's a really great way to extend through your back is to try and bring your elbows together behind you, right? So if you're not sure about what muscles do all that, we can talk about it on Saturday. But for now, just knowing hugging those elbows together is going to extend your back. And then maybe straightening the arms, but keep those elbows hugging together, right? And this is some shoulder mobility. So if straightening isn't happening, that's okay. That's why we're working on it, right? We don't have milk, so we're going to go to the store and buy some. We're not going to just say, oh, I'm out of milk. I can't do it, right? And then keep that engagement through your back body. Get your belly in, and then come forward. So right now it starts to become more interesting because gravity's pushing, but you got to keep that awareness. Head hangs from collarbones. Those elbows moving towards each other. Maybe the hands start to go towards the earth, but don't let the shoulders go. Take the knuckles carefully from side to side. Good. Inhale, come halfway up. Switch the clasp. Put the awkward finger on top. Re-establish that extension here. Reach your hips back and your heart forward, and then come on down again. Breathing all the way to the collarbones to get this stretch out of the pecs. Good, next inhale, come all the way up, hands stay interlaced. Find a little front spine opening by reaching the hands down, thighs back, hips forward. Inhale and come up. Ooh, release the arms. Good, bring your feet together. Chair pose, Utkatasana. So we want straight arms here. And if you need to take the V wider to accommodate that, then do that. Right? But I want your elbows to be straight because we tend to not straighten our arms a lot. Right? And then part of it is the shoulder tightness and all that good stuff. So we just work that extension through the elbows isn't firing up the tops of the shoulders. Maybe lift your heels. Yeah, so hug your ankle bones in. You can touch the knees together. That makes it a little bit easier, right? But hug your ankle bones in. Ankle bones. Lower the heels. Inhale, stand. Press your palms. Find that little bit of back bend. Oh, pop to the spine. Nice. Come on forward. And one more time, feet hip distance. This time, find a clasp of some sort. So behind the knees, behind the calves, hold on to your ankles or infinity grip, where you take your right forearm behind the right calf and then hold on to your left shin and vice versa. Again, broaden your navel back, Uddiyana Bandha, and then gravity's helping to take your contents up towards your head. One more breath. Release the arms. Inhale, reverse swan dive. Come all the way up. And hands to heart. So face the long way of your mat and go to the left side of it. So tree pose. Put the right leg up, take it out to the side, fit it in. Maybe it's calf. Maybe it's up at the root of the leg. Always interesting to see how the balance is from day to day, yes? Get that midline going. So push your right foot into your left leg, and then the outside of that left hip pushes back into your foot. Maybe you grow branches. If you want to join palms with the arms overhead, right? That's more challenging. So there is this kind of arrow feeling that I get that makes me feel really balanced. Good. Hands back to heart. Now check it. We're going to turn and look and put the right foot about halfway in the mat and move into half moon. So coming down. That right hand, maybe it's on a block. Oh, look at the video. Keep wrapping your right hip towards your left heel. One more breath. And then as gracefully as you can, back to where you started, bend your right knee. Step that left foot. And there you are, to the left side of the mat. Other side. Always like a little fresh out. Okay, hands at heart. Lift the left knee up. Take it out to the side, fit it in. Making sure the outside of that right hip is on line. That's stabilizing that leg, knee joint, giving you something to root down into. Drive your heel down as you reach your fingertips up. Soften your forehead and the place between your eyebrows. Good, hands back to heart. Turn carefully and look. Step your left foot halfway, middle of your mat. Slowing down. Maybe right hand comes to hip. And then up to the sky. Finding length through the left side body. One more breath. Gracefully back where you started. Okay, come back to the top of your mat. We'll step the left foot back to warrior one. Bend the right knee. Yeah. Finding a length that you can straighten that back leg, drive the pinky edge into the mat. Right knee is not going past right ankle. So if I wanted to bend deeper, I'd have to take my right leg further back. Good, squaring off the hips. Inhale, take your arms up. Exhale, bring hands down to frame your front foot. Now, inhale and take your arms back behind you, kind of like skier's pose, right? Draw those shoulder blades together on your back like we did to interlace. And now sweep the arms up, bring the torso up. Take a full breath. Exhale, hands, frame your front foot. Now we inhale, take the arms out to the side with the thumbs facing up. Bring your shoulder blades together, your belly in, and then continue to sweep arms up. So really engaging that back body. Stay for the inhale. Exhale, hands, frame your front foot. Last round, most challenging way to come in. Sweep your arms in line with your ears. Draw your shoulder blades down your back, push that left heel in, and then come all the way up. Big breath in. Good, exhale, step forward. And pause. Right foot steps back, other side. Find the appropriate length for your body today. Back leg, so many roots there, right? Really get it engaged. Arms up, being right here. Exhale, hands down, frame your front foot. As you inhale, take the arms back, skier's pose. Throw the shoulder blades together on the back and continue that as you sweep the arms up to the sky. Stay for the inhale. Exhale, frame your front foot. Inhale, arms out to the side, thumbs up, shoulder blades together, and then continue that extension as you bring arms up. Breathe in. Exhale. Hands frame your front foot. Last one, inhale, arms in line with ears. Draw the shoulder blades down the back. Come up with an exhale. Breathe in, get taller. And step the back foot forward. Take a moment. Good. Let's turn to the long edge again. Wide legs. There we go. The wide, real wide legs. And there's some schools, I'm trying to see if I'm there, that say you want your ankles right underneath your wrists. I think I could even go longer. You know, that just depends though on how much strength you have in the situation. Hands on the hips. Draw those thigh bones back. Press your pubic bone forward. Draw the belly in, elbows back, and heart lifts. Inhale. Exhale. Keep the strength of your legs as you come forward. Hands down on the mat. Inhaling, you pull your belly back towards your spine and breathe into your rib cage. Exhaling, press your feet down into the mat. 3 more like that. Inhale, come up halfway. Exhale, pause, bring hands to hips. Inhale, come the rest of the way up. Nice, right toes to the short edge of the mat. We'll go triangle pose. So if you need to shorten your stance, you can. All right, scissoring inner thighs. Let's keep hands on hips and just taking that. Cut your left hip back. Make sure that that right knee is not locked. So you can bend it a little bit, that'll do it. But you also, if you straighten it, just pull the quad up, but you gotta think about it all the time. And then extend the arms out. Imagine that you're laying back on a wall. The back of your left hand, arm, both shoulder blades, right? Your right glute. Keep lengthening right side body by shortening your left side body. One more breath. Exhale, take the top hand down, face your right leg. Pyramid pose, shorten the stance a bit. Right, you can bring a block in, square off the hips. Pull that right hip crease back. Back leg is straight. Good, so next inhale, come halfway up with the torso, and then take your arms in line with your ears. Breathe in here. Exhale, cactus your arms. Inhale, reach the arms forward. I know the balance is hard. Exhale, cactus. Inhale, arms forward. Exhale, cactus. Inhale, arms forward. Come on up. Oh, good. Hands to heart. Turn the feet to face forward. Let's step them in for a second. Give them a little break. Eyes closed or passive eye gaze down the nose. Good. Step or hop the feet out. Left toes to the short edge. Maybe hands on hips to give you that tactile cue. Cutting that left hip back. Extending arms once you reach your edge. Lengthen that left side body. One more big breath. Exhale, right hand comes down. Face your left leg. Pyramid pose. You can shorten that stance. Ensure you're grounding through your left big toe to pull the left hip crease back. So right now, before we take the hands off the ground, start to figure out what needs to happen for you to be more balanced, which would be pressing the feet down, pulling the belly in, hugging the hips in towards the midline. Inhale, come up halfway. Take your arms in line with your ears. Belly really in. Exhale, cactus. Inhale, reach the arms forward. Exhale, cactus. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Come on up. Good. Turn to the center. Bring my feet together. Pause. Good. To the top of your mat. Then release, hands behind the back. All right, so not blowing out through the belly and the ribs. Make sure that you think about pressing your middle back into your arms. Shift the weight into the right foot, left knee lifts up. So we're gonna go to a warrior 3. And I personally think this is one of the easiest arm variations because it really gets you into your back extension. You don't have those heavy arms in front of you. You just keep rolling your shoulder blades together. Don't drop your head. Reach the string out through the crown of your head. Oh yeah, and out through the back of your left heel too. One more breath. Carefully finding high crescent. Bend your right knee. Ooh. All right, the arms up. And slowly lower left knee down. Untuck the toes. Right hand to right thigh. Let's make a little more length through that left side body as we inhale. And then exhale, get up as high as you can on that left arm, whatever space you got there. Eventually it's the back of the left shoulder, right? Because we can bind and do all kinds of stuff. Finding length, pulling those hands down to lift the chest. Tuck your back toes. Maybe lift that knee up off the mat. Really reach out through your back leg to twist against. One more full breath. Open arms to fly. Good, hands to heart. Carefully unwind. We should come back to one-legged, right? And big toes touch. Blah, 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 blah. And a moment to be. Other side, interlace hands with the opposite grip. Draw the shoulder blades together and then the low ribs in. It really does give you like a, it used to feel like restrained to me, but I switched that. It feels more stable, right? Kind of like a corset. Shift your weight to your left foot, right leg lifts up. Right, so as we take the leg back, don't let the belly dump. Warrior 3. Keep rolling those elbows together behind you. Reach. Crown of head away from heel. Roll right hip down, left hip back. One more big breath, get long like an arrow. And then bend the left knee carefully. Back to high crescent. Taking the arms up. Lift your belly up so you can lower the knee down carefully. Untuck back toes. Left hand to left thigh. Reach that right body up. And then draping across. You can bring that right shoulder forward to hook in as far as you can go. And then to bring yourself more into the twist, roll your left shoulder back. And then when you find more space, let those right ribs come across your left thigh. Tuck the back toes. Lift that back knee up. Press everything that's touching the ground further into the ground. One more breath, open arms if you did on the first side. Hands to heart. Carefully unwind, keeping hands at heart. Right knee comes up. Big toes touch. Just take a moment here, check in with your intention. Coming back to the breath. Good, open your eyes. So back so you have a little room. This is a little try stuff. So then we sit into our chair. Then lift the heels up. You're gonna slide halfway down the imaginary wall. I haven't done it in a little bit. Once I'm halfway, I'm gonna turn, take my knees out and hug my heels in. And then keep my butt where it is I slowly go slow, so slow, so that you can find those muscles that are keeping you light. Once your hands reach the ground, stay light and come up on your crow perch. Maybe those feet come off, maybe they don't, but lift your hips up from your belly. Stay for a couple breaths. Wherever you are, keep lifting your hips up. Push your hands down. Good, and then make your way back to a down dog. You can float if that's your jam. Down dog. Breathe into it. Finding the rest in this pose. Continue to straighten your elbows, but keep those shoulders soft. Come to a child's pose. Your choice. I'm gonna go with the knees closer together because I want a little more curve in my spine. If you want to get more into your hips, the knees will go wide. And coming back to down dog. So we're gonna practice the dive into chaturanga. If you haven't seen that before, let me just show it to you real quick. So we go from down dog and we're working to take the shift forward, the plank position. We want to go in now at an angle instead of straight up over the hips. It's much harder. So you're going to point the elbows back towards the shins, right? So that externally rotates my shoulders, which I want them to do. Now notice how my butt is starting to become a thing. I got to really tether my tailbone down to my heels, right? And then we'll push back to down dog, maybe through that diagonal. So that's a lot harder the other direction. So you're just gonna do what you can. If you haven't done this very much, it's hard, just like anything that you don't do very much. But really the biggest part is manage that pelvis, right? To really start to rein the tailbone in as soon as possible. And then that external rotation, keeping the shoulders engaged. So we go, down dog. So hug those arm bones in, round the collarbones out, bellies in. On your exhale, point your elbows back towards your shins. Start to pull the hands back as you get here, pause, and then push back, downward facing dog. Breathe in. Exhale, come forward. Pause, back, down dog. Last one, coming forward. Pause, now we're to the ground. Rest. Bow pose, bend your knees, grab on for feet or ankles. You can always do this one leg at a time, yeah, taking opposite arm forward. So if that is needed, take that. Zip your thighs in and push your pubic bone down. Then kick those feet back and send the toes up. But keep trying to hug your elbows together, right? Don't work so hard there that your shoulders start to engage. And let your breath go all the way up to your collarbones. One more big breath. Exhale, let it go. Turn your head the other way. Gently press back into another child's pose. This time, let's all have the knees together. And if your head doesn't reach the ground, you can always bring a fist in. And coming to rabbit's pose, so you'll hold on to your heels from the outside of the foot. Lift your hips up and take your forehead closer to your knees so that you come up onto that tippy top of your head, maybe even moving towards the backside. Exhale, lower down. And sitting up, let's roll onto the back. I'm going to take the right ankle over the left knee and then pull this figure four in. And so you can wrap around the hamstring, or maybe around the shin if that doesn't bother your knee. Do a couple ankle circles with that left foot wherever you are. Really explore the range of motion there. And then trying to keep your pecs as soft as possible and make this a little more bicep-y. You can always do this up at a wall too, putting the left foot on the wall, which is nice because then you can omit the arms. Coming back to the breath and your intention. Being with the sensations that you're receiving, meeting them with compassion, nurturing negotiation. One more breath here. Let the legs go, but try and keep them up close to your chest, and then we're going to take them over to the left side. So left, outside of left leg just flops on the ground. Sole of right foot is on the ground, and that right leg is close enough that I could grab it easily with my left hand. Then you can bring your right arm out to the side. Cactus or the up by that top right corner is going to be your more intense option. Something lower down towards the right bottom corner will be less. This one's really great for sciatica. It hits the piriformis really nicely. And then, yeah, any kind of SI stuff as well. Sacroiliac joint. So you can stay here, or if you want to add on a little bit, you're gonna take that left knee and or the left thigh and bring it over to the right. So it's coming more underneath your head. You want to try and grab that left foot with your right hand. Okay, so now I got that. And then I'm gonna switch this to a different twist. So now my right leg's extending and I'm just holding on to the knee calf situation, right? So to get that foot a little bit easier, you got to think about taking your left hip back. Even I can even lift up and pull my left hip back. That'll give me more access to the quad. It's just a nice twist to with a more neutral spine because you're extending that bottom leg. It brings some extension into the lumbar. Cat pulling its tail. Rolling the right shoulder open softly. One more breath. So let your legs go and bend that top knee and just roll over to your left side into the fetal position. Just take a breath or two. And onto your back. And just pause here with the knees bent. You can drop them into the middle for a second. Just to acknowledge the shift. Feet back, hip distance, cross your left ankle over. Bring that into your chest. Find your hold on your leg. Circle that right ankle a couple times. Continue to send your butt, your tailbone back towards the earth, and that will add more intensity to the stretch. That'll bring it more into the hips, and instead of just perpetuating that curl that we already got going on with gravity. And release the legs, but keep them up by your chest, taking them over to your right side. Outside of the right leg lands, left foot lands. You got it close enough your right hand could grab your left ankle. Extend the left arm out to the side at the appropriate level for you. In this pose, really, as you guys know, because you take enough of my classes, but fascial shifts don't start to begin until about 2 minutes in a shape, right? We can create more fluidity and openness through our fascia with some rubbing and things like that, but to actually release restrictions and open up, we want to stay in things a little longer, so this is a good one for that. One more breath here. Okay, I think I can get you into this a little bit better this time. So what I want you to do is press into that left and even your right foot, lift up your hips and just pull that right hip back a little bit. Yeah, then try and grab your left foot. This will be a little bit easier to get there. Now extend that top leg, right? Maybe you can shift that left hip back even more. You're looking to get it underneath the left one. Yeah. Letting the left shoulder and rib cage open. Last breath. Let go of your legs and bend the top knee. Make your way over to the right side in the fetal position. Coming on to the back. So plow pose, you guys know it. So I'm not going to talk very much because I'm going to do it too, and it's very hard for me to talk when my legs are over my face. But remembering that once your legs are over your face, please don't turn your head. You can always look with your eyeballs, right? But we're in a pretty extreme flex position, and it's not safe to the structures in the neck to be turning the head. So coming in, pulling these. If you don't want to do this, of course, you could just do legs up or some other inversion that you like. And gently start to roll out. Try and keep your legs closer to your torso. Broaden the navel so you can control that roll down. Bend your knees once your hips land. Take the feet as wide as the mat. Drop the knees in. Arms overhead. Breathe into the front side. And taking the feet back to the middle, lift your hips up. Put the palms down on the ground underneath your pelvis and extend your legs. Right, so think about if we want to extend our spine, we're going to try and bring those elbows together. So press down into your elbows, but you might walk them in a little bit too. And broaden your collarbones and come up onto the tippy top of your head and let your shoulder heads melt back. Pull your belly in as you breathe into your rib cage. Open up your throat. One more breath. Exhaling, melt down. Take the hands out. Little neutral spine here, maybe a couple pelvic tilts. And then soles of the feet together, knees out to the sides, hands on the belly. Last moments with your breath, still engaging your pranayama. So it means you are extending your breath or controlling your breath more as opposed to just allowing it to feed you with life without you thinking about it. Feeling the nurturing and the feeding of the inhales and the softening and the relaxation, the letting go of the exhales. You close your legs gently. Roll to one side to sit up. We're gonna do Shavasana, and I do like to just slide into it from that pose. But since you guys got blankets, let's just do the nice neck roll because it's so I can't even believe how much it helps me relax my subocciput and throat. So remembering, we're just rolling enough to fill that cervical curve. Right? So you don't want to feel like it's thrusting your head forward. It should really give you a feeling that your forehead is just a little bit higher than your nose. I mean, and depending on the size of your nose, obviously, right? But you don't want to feel your chin going up, right? So maybe we think forehead a little bit higher than chin. Right, and settle that in there. Check it out. You know, if it doesn't feel right, do a little bit less, or maybe try a little bit more. It's worth it. Settle things in, wrap shoulder blades down the back. Once you get in there, just notice where you're at in that moment, that first kind of setting down of the pose. And then really bring some awareness around that neck and jaw and use your exhales to let go. And remembering that rarely is letting go like a light switch. It's a lot more like an onion, layers, or erosion, the ocean against the rocks. Breath is coming naturally now, so you don't need to control it at all. Notice that negotiation of being aware of your breath, but not controlling it. Allowing this continued stillness to weight the front side. Softening your face and jaw, your throat, shoulders. Soft belly and hips. Limbs and ends heavy. Take a moment to honor where you are right now. Gently start to deepen your breath. Allow that to lighten your body. Bring some movement to the ends. In your own way, come into the fetal position, maybe through a stretch, some other movement. Over to your right side in a cozy, loving position. Send yourself gratitude. Say thank you in your name in your head. And gently press to seated. Palms together at the center of the chest, eyes closed. Stack your bones. Enjoy the space that you created, stability. Honor your intention. Thanks for joining me today. Namaste.